Grimm Reapers is my second feature original script. It's a historical fantasy adventure, which is three new genres I hadn't tried doing before. So, I do hope you enjoy this. I'm glad you all showed up, especially my wife. She's been a huge supporter in my yet-to-be professional career. Even when I throw money out the window. And I'm very grateful that all our cast showed up. We have a huge cast, and they're going to give us a great show. So, hope you enjoy it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lorenzo Sandoval, and I'm the director. I just wanted to, and I'll also be reading, narrating, if you will, a lot of the stage directions. There'll be some, of course, that will be acted out, which leads me to this. What you will see then is some semi-blocking, if you will, definitely a lot of improvisational things that's happening tonight. We've had a few times that we've been together. I think the object of this is principally the text, listening, really seeing how it stimulates your imagination. But obviously we're going to have some visual things happen as well that suggest some of the action that would ultimately be shown on a film. Obviously for a lot of the action shots, riding of horses and a lot of the fighting and all that, it'll be kind of slow-mo or abbreviated, but once again, just to suggest some of the action. But it is kind of a staged reading blended with minimal action. All right? With that having been said, why don't we go ahead and start? Oh, we about ready? Just wanted to make sure. All right, so we are here tonight for Grimm Reapers, written by Michael Berg, inspired by the life and work of Brothers Grimm, and we will begin. Fade in, exterior, Berlin, Humboldt University day. It's a picturesque afternoon. Horse-drawn carriages rattle along a cobblestone street outside iron gates surrounding the former palace. There's a super, Berlin, Humboldt University, 1861. Onlookers in top hats and petticoats mingle around the formidable statue of Frederick the Great. Interior, Humboldt University hallway. Students bustle between classes. The din fades away farther down a forgotten door affixed with the brass nameplate, J. Grimm. Interior, classroom. Amid the clutter of books and papers, Jacob Grimm, 76, is hunched over in a dusty frock coat. He writes with quiet concentration etched across his haggard face. He replaces the sheet of parchment in front of him. The quill tip scratches out fresh words. My dearest Herman.
My dearest Herman, I hope this letter finds you and Gisela well. Progress on the dictionary has slowed to snail's pace.
He pauses. He regards a youthful portrait of him and Wilhelm in a framed 1812 etching.
Your father's passing has left a great void these past 2 years. Not only was he my brother, but a pleasant friend and a closest friend. This is why, nephew, before death ensues, I impart one last story. A tale never to be recorded in publication, but one you deserve to know.
The quill pen dips into an inkwell. Interior. Castle Liechtenstein, birth chamber, day. Lifts up by another hand. The palace belabored delivery of Duchess Augusta, 23, an endearing yet battered wife surrounded by handmaidens. She screams in agony on a parturition chair. Super Castle Liechtenstein, 1788. Her legs are spread on wooden stirrups, sweat and blood dripping from different areas. One handmaiden dabs Augusta's forehead with a wet cloth while a nun squats in front. Augusta cries out in a low moan. Royal bedchamber that turns pleasurable. Inside this opulent den of gilded furnishings and alabaster sculptures on opposite marble fireplaces. A celestial ceiling mural overlooks blue bed linens where a mistress, ageless beauty, gyrates on top of Frederick I, 34, a behemoth, 6'11", 400-pound prince. Her silky hair flows down over flawless skin and supple curves to the meaty hands caressing her buttocks. Intercut, a Duchess-mistress montage. An escalation of delivery torment and sexual indulgence until both climax in a twisted duality. End montage. Interior birth chamber. It's a melancholy mood. Blood-stained handmaidens look lost in ways to comfort the Duchess as she cries on her bed. The nun cradles a swaddled, silent infant. She shakes her head to the record keeper. Royal bedchamber. The mistress wraps in a lavish robe that complements her allure. She drapes herself over the satisfied noble.
How may I pleasure my prince now?
Give me time, woman. Calm your lascivious urges.
The doors burst open. A host of guards march in with swords drawn. Frederick sits up.
How dare you! Get out! Seize that woman!
Two guards wrench the mistress off of Frederick.
I demand an answer to this outrage.
The deceptive harlot is a witch. She stole more than my bed. But you triumphed.
The guard captain struggles at keeping Augusta upright.
Lies, my prince. I only wish to serve. Look! Look upon your son!
She collapses. Handmaidens rush to her side. The nun brings forth the stillborn baby. Frederick gazes at his dead offspring.
Frederick, please. I love you.
And then to the mistress. His flustered face contorts into rage.
Burn her!
Exterior. Castle Liechtenstein. Courtyard. A crowd of peasants gather as guards lead the mistress to a scorched wooden pyre and bind her hands behind her, a charred center pole. They douse the pyre with oil. The mistress shifts her shoulders and the robe falls off, exposing her breasts. She gazes up at the guard captain holding a flaming torch.
By order of His Majesty, Prince of Württemberg, I condemn thee to death.
A slanderous betrayal, my lord. Spare me, and I shall be yours.
Her words are hypnotic verbal honey. Several guards appear entranced.
Stay true, men. She is salacious and vile. Send this enchantress to the burning depths.
He casts his torch down, flames erupt.
Not by your hand, or by his.
She projects her defiance to the balcony and cackles. Shrill laughter intensifies with the blaze. Smooth skin wrinkles like a raisin, perky breasts sag and shrivel. A guard vomits. The mistress doesn't perish, but reveals her true abhorrent self. A 174-year-old Slavic witch named Baba Yaga. She casts a spell.
Ohen viak malietet!
Fire no more, make me sore. The fire crystallizes and forms a gigantic glass mortar. Everyone falls back in fear. Baba Yaga launches her mortar up into the overcast sky. Frederick watches with despair, not even fazed by the sight of snow. Exterior, Grimm house, day. Snow falls gently on an idyllic German residence and backyard that borders the entrance to deep woods. There's a super, Steino, January 10th, 1796. Crack! An axe blade splits a piece of wood. Philip Grimm, 44, a hardy man with tender eyes and temperament, shimmies the blade off the chopping block. He glances over at Jacob, 11, cocking back the trigger of a crossbow and handing it to his brother Wilhelm, 10.
Take a deep breath, Will. Steady your aim.
The crossbow sights line up on a crudely painted bullseye hanging off a branch.
Nice and easy, Nat.
Wilhelm releases a bolt. It ricochets off the tree trunk.
Just a towel off the mark.
Not again. This is hopeless, Father. I'll never hit it.
Chin up. You've only just begun.
Perhaps we should try a bigger target. Maybe troll size.
Philip burrows his brow in disapproval and he picks up the bolt.
Over here, Jacob. Come retrieve this for your brother.
Why, Father?
Philip remains silent as he readies a new wood chunk. Wilhelm grins, sticks out his tongue. Jacob snatches a crossbow from him and marches over in a huff.
Try not to mock Wilhelm. It disheartens him.
He's too sensitive. Can't take a good ridding.
Always remember, you are the oldest sibling. Never take your sibling's love for granted. I shan't be around forever.
Jacob reflects on this.
Philip! Philip!
Jacob spots his mother leaning out of an upper story window.
Bring the boys inside before you catch your death of cold. Supper's about ready.
She shuts the window and disappears from view.
That's enough for today. Do as your mother has asked.
Yes, Father.
He trudges his way around front.
I'm counting on you, Jacob, to be the provider and protector of this family when the time comes.
The wind picks up, blowing the snow harder. Jacob shields his face.
Get inside.
He yanks his axe free, focuses on the forest.
What is it, Father?
Philip scans the area, snaps his attention to a monstrous werewolf leaping into view.
Go, now!
He charges with his axe raised. The werewolf growls as it stands on two legs, looming over Philip, who swings the axe multiple times until cutting across the beast's chest. The werewolf pounces, snapping like a rabid dog. Philip jams the axe handle between its jaws. Jacob trembles as he tries to load the crossbow.
Come on, hurry!
The werewolf clamps onto the handle and flings it away. It lurches back, shoulder pierced by a bolt. Philip flips over and starts to crawl.
Get inside!
The werewolf swipes its claw across Philip's back, ripping into flesh.
Father!
He fumbles the reloading.
Jacob! Mother waits for me!
Wilhelm peeks his head around the corner and gasps. Sharp, jagged teeth tear a chunk out of Philip's neck. The werewolf rises, mouth dripping. Philip gasps for air, clutching the wound as blood seeps through his fingers. Jacob aims the crossbow. The werewolf snarls, then lunges and shoots. The creature slumps into the snow, dead. A bolt sunk in its forehead transforms back to a naked young man. Jacob's in shock, but moves past, inching up to Philip. He stops just short of the expanding red snow. Philip struggles to pull something from his jacket. He chokes out one last breath and dies. Through a blurry vision of tears, Jacob notices a shiny object in his father's hand. Jacob kneels down and plucks out a golden key. He holds it up for inspection between two fingers. Interior, palace, drawing room, day. The key hangs on a chain around the neck of Jacob. 25, good-looking, introspective, with short, wavy hair and a formal suit, befitting a meager salary. Sitting next to him is Wilhelm, 24. Longer hair parted, more jovial and carefree attitude, flirting with a bouffant lady. Super, Napoleon Shoy, Kingdom of Westphalia, 1810. They are surrounded by extravagance, tapestries, and ladies of court. Gossip and giggling accompany their generous consumption of champagne. Jacob has a quill pen to parchment. writing until
R-U-M-P-E-L.
he looks to Queen Katharina, 27, round-faced, tight-hanging curls, dressed in the finest Prussian linens.
Once more, please.
S-T-I-L-T-S-K-I-N. Rumpelstiltskin.
And that's how the Queen saved her child.
Recounted by my family for generations.
I find it peculiar that the imp should fly out on a cooking ladle.
He must be very tiny.
Well, the ladle very big.
Katharina laughs along with her sister-in-law, Princess Charlotte, 23, a homely girl with tired eyes.
Warms my heart to see Charlotte's spirits lifted.
A welcomed respite from recent events. Forgive me.
Jacob fidgets from the awkwardness. Wilhelm interjects.
It's an honor for us to spend the afternoon with such lovely company. Supplies my brother a much-needed distraction from his royal library duties.
Katharina signals to an attendant,
Return the princess to her chambers.
who leads Charlotte away.
I apologize, my Queen, if we offended in some matter.
The poor thing has been anguished since her infant child succumbed to consumption. Our physicians say such despair is caused by a brain fever.
Prone to delusion.
Yes, and nightmares. She claims her son returns in the early hours to nurse.
If it pleases, milady, may I offer a Bavarian root tonic, used to bring deep sleep for troubled nights.
Is it safe?
I always keep a vial near my bedside. A few drops is all she'll need.
Wilhelm sidles up to the bouffant lady with a new glass of champagne.
Perhaps it's time to take our leave.
So soon?
You mustn't depart until I tell my last tale.
Yes, dear brother, it'd be improper, immoral, and impolite to deny the Queen.
He declares while locking eyes with the enamored bouffant lady. Jacob dips the quill.
Please continue.
When I was a little girl, a servant accused of witchery was executed. However, she escaped my father's castle.
Exterior, Black Forest, day. Flashback, 1788. An A-frame hut with a mossy roof barges through the trees on gargantuan chicken legs and nestles itself on a cleared embankment.
And fled south, deep into the Black Forest as the Royal Guard lay pursuit.
A company of Royal Guard gallop into view. The guard captain signals his troops to dismount and draw their swords. All cautiously advance, except for one. Chicken Leg Hut's oval doorway opens like a mouth, giving them pause. A line of sharpened posts burst from the ground, impaling 3 guards. The 10-foot wall blocks remainder from the escape. The lone guard stands helpless as screams of torment and death erupt from the other side. Once the slaughter subsides, a bloody burlap sack sails over the wall and lands at his feet.
A present for your prince. Deliver as a warning to all with ill intentions, lest they wish the same fate,
says Baba Yaga. Interior, palace, drawing room, day, 1810. Bouffant lady leans forward, almost falling off her chair.
What did the sack contain?
the captain's head.
Absurd!
Everyone rises as King Jerome Bonaparte, 26, enters. He's dressed a little more regally than he needs to match his ego.
I'm surprised, my dear, to hear such nonsense leave your lips.
My father saw the head.
Then he ought to have strung him up the guard for murder and desertion.
May I inquire about the initial crime itself?
Death of my mother.
Our deepest of sympathies, milady.
Jerome joins Katharina on the decorative sofa.
No one should have to be burdened to carry such a tragedy and go unasked.
He catches the slightest admittance of sorrow pass over Katharina's face. She snaps back into her facade of regal aloofness before Jerome notices.
I left my pass back in Liechtenstein.
Old memories have no place here.
And neither do old wives' tales. Now, let us not forget social graces benefiting the king. Who sits before?
Wilhelm, my liege, honored to be in your presence.
My brother recently returned from its travels to Weimar.
Research of local legends and oral narratives.
To what end?
A belief that one day the provinces will unite as a single state after our land is purged of unspoken evils.
Into written form. So all may embrace a common German heritage.
Be careful how you phrase these noble, if not pointless endeavors. Duller minds may mistake them as treason.
He wanders to a large window overlooking the expansive grounds.
Napoleon is the only one who can achieve a European union. My brother's empire shall endure longer than Rome.
Interior palace bedroom. Night. Jacob and Wilhelm enter the dimly lit room, armed for battle. Long stemmed candles glow off ornate woodwork. Moaning and sucking sounds drift from behind a finely woven bed curtain.
Wait, are you sure? Whatever lies beyond that curtain.
Has already been revealed 14 years ago. We can't turn a blind eye now. This is our path to follow.
They step closer when a hoarse snort brings new confusion. Jacob draws back the curtain, exposing the pale eyes of a floating horse head. The ghostly nightmare peeks out from a dream veil. An owl, a small humanoid creature with a lengthy tail and soot-colored fur, nurses from the exposed Princess Charlotte.
It's realized as abomination.
The owl raises its head and bears fangs from a grotesque, milky squirrel face.
Repulsive little imp, isn't he?
Bat wings and horns sprout from the owl's body.
Nightmare must be its conduit. Let's be quick about this, shall we?
Wilhelm ducks as the elk launches into the air. It flaps around, uncoordinated like a baby bird, knocking over candles. One sets fire to a bed curtain. Jacob douses the flame with a wash basin. The elk crashes into a fruit bowl on the dinner table. He begins pelting the brothers with apples, oranges, lemons. Wilhelm unsheathes his early 18th century rapier and slices through the barrage of produce. An orange chunk spooks the nightmare onto the physical flame, bumping Wilhelm over as it enters.
This complicates matters.
The elk goes airborne, buffering itself behind the horse.
We mustn't let the elk ride back into the netherworld.
Wilhelm rips down the burnt bed curtain and holds it out like a net. They press forward from opposite sides. The nightmare obstructs Jacob, who pets it out of happenstance. Wilhelm lunges, tossing the heavy curtain. The elk dodges and flies over to a nightstand. Jacob fires his crossbow. The mirror cracks as the elk squeaks and falls to the floor. White fluid leaks from its torso. Jacob rushes over, scooping up a lemon wedge, and crams it into the flailing creature's mouth. Instantly subdued. Wilhelm shuffles closer, wheezing, gasping for composure.
Pain in the chest.
It's really not the time.
Some brotherly love. What if I had a collapsed lung or heart failure?
A welcome change from your other fictitious ailments.
Even your jest offers me relief.
Sword.
Wilhelm relinquishes his swept-hilt handle. Jacob rests the blade against the paralyzed elk's neck as if he were about to tee off.
Death comes first, awful creature. I am yours. I am death.
He lops off the elk's head. Milk pours from the open cavity until its body decomposes into nothingness.
Good work and good riddance.
The nightmare neighs at Jacob, then laps up the puddle. Charlotte stirs in her sleep. Jacob runs a hand over the horse's soft, glistening coat.
This remarkable beast may simply disappear when the princess awakens.
Wilhelm wipes clean his rapier and sheathes it. He surveys the room's destruction.
I'd rather not be here when either happens.
Jacob loops a length of curtain cord around the horse's neck and leads it out. Wilhelm retrieves a bolt before following.
We'll need a story for my new friend.
A gift from Her Majesty for services rendered.
Exterior, castle, palace, morning. Dressed in travel cloaks, the brothers secure last of their gear to the nightmare and Wilhelm's stallion, outfitted for a long journey.
I'm glad more attention was on Princess Charlotte's recovery than her room.
Still, we shouldn't linger here a moment beyond our needs.
A carriage rolls up to the palace entrance ramp. Occam van Arnhem, 29, a literary celebrity with a baby face and pouty lips, opens the carriage door.
It can't be. My two favorite scholars waiting for me?
Occam, this is a pleasant surprise.
I thought it might. But I'm sad to see you aren't staying. Off to collect more folktales?
Venturing out to new prospects.
And conducting business on the Queen's behalf.
Exactly why I'm here. Personally summoned to read from the 3rd volume of Des Nabben Wunderhorn.
She'll be a captive audience.
A pity Brentano isn't here to soak up her praise. Which reminds me, have any new pages ready? He's eager for more.
Our collection numbers only a couple dozen.
The quantity is not of concern. I'd be happy to pass them along upon my return to Berlin.
Jacob lifts the flap of a leather satchel and pulls out a stack of parchment. He gives them to Occam.
Favor me this request, Jacob. Delay your departure by a few hours. Let us discuss what future awaits the brothers Grimm.
Exterior. Bad Wildungen, night. Jacob and Wilhelm travel along a muddy route flanked by trees.
Occam's ideas for publication are exciting.
His enthusiasm was infectious, but nothing of particular importance.
You could have tried appearing interested.
Our pretense here as collectors holds nothing beyond its purpose. Don't ask of me any more energy than is needed towards this falsehood.
Wilhelm remains silent while Jacob reconciles his guilt for spouting off.
Why are we meeting Marie in Bad Wildungen?
There's no town near to a grandmother's cottage.
Several skeletons dangle along the way.
And none more hospitable, I'm sure.
Exterior. Bad Wildungen, Sentry Tower. They stop before a high wooden gate extended out from a solid wall encircling the town. A French soldier peers down from his lookout.
Good evening, sir. We wish to enter.
The French soldier yells back behind him.
Stray Prussian dogs come barking at our gate.
Who possesses finer manners than the tower troll. The French soldier bristles from the insult.
State your name and purpose.
Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm in service to Cassel. Official seal of Westphalia.
The doors creak open.
When did you learn French?
Paris.
They pass through a holding tank. The nightmare snorts at other scared soldiers backing away.
Devil horse, not of this world.
A second set of doors open to cobblestone roads. They clip-clop through town, passing darkened shops and houses with seldom a light inside, until reaching Wolfsbane Tavern. Music and revelry spill into the streets.
Later than I intended.
Your little firebrand holds her drink better than either of us.
That's not what concerns me.
Interior. Bad Wildungen. Tavern in night. Jacob and Wilhelm enter the 2-floor establishment. A roaring hearth takes center stage amongst the local townfolk, drinking and smoking pipes. Musicians play a mandolin, fiddle, and flute near the bar counter, where a bartender with a walrus mustache ignores a drunken louse hassling a woman covered by a red-hooded cloak.
Why not, little Red Riding Hood? There's beds upstairs.
In insult me again, and we'll have a problem.
Barkeep, give Goldilocks another lager.
The bartender obliges. Red swallows her beer in a single gulp. Slams down the stein.
Thank you. Now go away.
You owe me!
He grips her by the neck, but she whirls, escapes from the cloak, and kicks him in the groin. He drops to his knees.
Fair warning was given.
Marie, 22, athletic, long golden hair, distinct leather bracers, is a sight of breathtaking intensity. She grips a sculpted ivory handle, draws her hunting sword out and down, stopping short of his neck. The room has gone quiet. Marie catches sight of a flintlock pistol pointed at her.
Sheath the blade before I put a hole through your head.
Sister, there you are. We've been so worried.
You claim this woman?
Yes, fine fellow. Our mother's recent passing has left her unbalanced and prone to violence.
Best to use a leash next time.
A proposition worth its weight in frocks.
Oh, how lucky I am to have such brothers.
The bartender reacts with appropriate disgust. Wilhelm slaps 2 Thaler coins on the bar counter and sidearm hugs the louse.
For your trouble. And another Schwarzbier to this gentleman. No harm, even if considerably foul.
Interior Tavern Inn, moments later. The festive raucous has resumed. Jacob and Marie face each other at a table along the wall. He scans the room for any unwanted attention as she yearns for him, for his.
You've yet to master the art of being inconspicuous.
I made a valid attempt. The guy had it coming.
We all do. Some sooner than others.
But not for us.
I've missed you. These weeks apart have grown old.
I've missed feeling you between my legs.
Marie, such talk is very unbecoming of a lady.
Who said I was a lady? Besides, you like it when I'm not.
Roggenbeer here is quite delicious. You told her yet?
We found the out.
Remarkable.
No, not that. I mean, we did. Took care of it in quick fashion.
So, your suspicions were correct. Remember to cite the adage.
She knows.
He doesn't hold secrets from me.
Anyway, I'm pleased our endeavor proved successful.
Complimented by a lemon. What possessed you with such insight?
Savini's manuscripts have contained a fruitful passage.
Do wonders never cease? My brother delivers a pun.
An ample-bosomed barmaid serves them 2 plates of lung sausage resting on a pile of mushy, chopped-up cabbage.
Culver's, thank you for this bountiful feast.
Call upon me for anything else.
My apologies, Maria. I thought you'd eaten.
Care for a taste of mine?
Always.
However, will you 2 lovebirds survive another 2 weeks?
One exhausting night at a time.
Why, brother, have I been replaced on our witch hunt? Oh! Ah!
What witch? Jacob.
At this very moment, Jacob wants to be anywhere but here, but he gulps down the remainder of his liquid courage.
Will and I take journey to Liechtenstein Castle tomorrow on behalf of the Queen. Our true purpose, however, lies within the Black Forest.
What about the werewolf? You promised.
Our net has extended beyond personal retributions.
From what we know, this witch is evil incarnate and must be annihilated.
For the greater good.
the greater good. Think of your father. My parents are you
I do, and it will be so. But only after removing all threats that unveil themselves as myth.
Oh.
Marie. She storms up to the second floor.
Marriage?
She has an already established, and I love her.
As would her father. God rest his soul. A toast. May her passion burn bright through many long years. As for me, who am I to deny many a maiden my company?
And then they have an impromptu dance. Exterior. Castle Wildenberg, night. Friedrich von Stafny, 43. A discerning gentleman with a ponytail, velvet frock, strolls through a rundown arched gate and across an expansive, unkept lawn to an imposing manor house, where sounds of a vicious dogfight drift from the back. Interior, Castle Wildenberg, study. Savni enters a room lit only by the crackling fire casting a shadow of its sole occupant, the Baron, 74, weathered with long, scraggly hair, persistent cough, in a high-back chair.
Father?
Such blasphemy! I have no son.
I am your only son.
You traitor. Smell your stench a mile away.
That was a lifetime ago.
Your treachery continues to this day.
Please, Father. I don't wish to fight. It's been so many years.
Biding your time. Until I'm weak. Till I fail. Back to serve me.
Only to help. They are beyond your reach.
Not anymore.
The Baron stands, but rebuffs any help. He fixates on the large portrait of a fetching young woman.
Now let me say what the elder Grimm did to your mother. Anywhere but that butcher deserves just as much.
You bloodied the water equally. That this madness go before it runs to ruin.
The Baron lashes out, striking Savni across the face.
I am lord of this house. Abandon me once more, recreants. Or witness the decimation of your war.
Interior, Tavern Inn, second floor hall, later. Jacob loiters from door to door, subtly knocking.
Marie? Marie? Marie?
The third one swings open. Marie stands before him, robed in her full-length red cloak. Interior, meager room. Inhabited by barren walls and a bed with frayed linens. Jacob closes the door.
Are you still angry?
Furious.
Her naked body is on full display. She soaks in Jacob's admiration before escaping under the bed covers. He cozies up next to Marie.
How can I make this right? The dangers are unknown.
All the more reason you need my abilities.
She disappears under the sheets. Jacob's eyes roll back as his mouth drops. She mounts him, but Jacob turns over to the missionary.
You have obligations there.
He begins a slow, rhythmic motion. They share a feeling of mutual adoration. Marie holds Jacob close. Surprise rolls them back around.
Whom a huntsman in my employ is watching over.
Well, there's an answer for everything.
Do you hear that now?
More lessons may be required.
We have time. I'm not going anywhere
Without me.
until death parts us.
Interior, meager room, morning. Light pours in from a single window. Marie stirs, waking to find herself alone. Interior, Gothic church. A cavernous hall supported by stone pillars with seldom a solitary worshiper occupying the otherwise vacant wooden pews. In the front row, Jacob and Wilhelm are bent over in prayer to a suspended crucifix. He smiles as he passes by Marie. She sits next to Jacob.
You left me.
Just so far as to absolve my sins and ask forgiveness.
Our love is not sinful.
Nor is it sanctioned. Yes, at any rate.
A fault we can easily remedy.
Exterior, Bad Dungeon Gothic church. Wilhelm waits on his stallion wearing a smug grin.
What a relief to see none of you struck down.
Your brother fancies himself a wit.
Among other things.
You look fresh as the morning dew, Marie. Last night proved agreeable.
They both climb up on their horses.
My affections were appeased.
So this isn't goodbye, but welcome.
Marie leans over to Jacob for a kiss and notices the nightmare's pale eyes.
Where did you find such a unique creature?
In a dream.
There's a montage, traveling south. Jacob, Marie, and Wilhelm ride out of the town's gates. They cross a waist-high, wide, swift-flowing river. They descend down a prairie hill covered by blooming wildflowers. The Rhone Mountains are rising up on the horizon. Sleep under stars near a smoldering fire. End of montage. Exterior, Rhone Mountains, forest, day. They navigate single file around densely populated trees with exposed roots blanketed by moss.
Am I mistaken, or has our direction veered farther east than necessary?
What was your first hint?
Distinct regional flora.
And here I only thought you studied anatomy.
Marie believes the woods near Schwarzbachtal may hold promise.
Hot on the trail for vengeance.
Justice. Since when does such distinction matter to you?
I'm admittedly less particular. 70, on the other hand, would have a few words.
Again, we return to him.
He is a law scholar who holds unusual reverence for the beast.
Interior, National Library of France, day, flashback. A vast assortment of books extending up to the ceiling arches surround a row of crowded tables. Super, of Paris, 1805. Near the back, with only a modicum of privacy, Jacob diligently writes as he references a propped open journal. Savigny paces around him in a similar Parisian suit.
Dans le laisse, les dernières sections étaient très faites pour aujourd'hui.
Finish out the last section and be done for today.
Merci, professeur Sanglier. Celui c'est avieux un décompté intéressé.
This proved a rewarding discovery.
Your French has improved at phenomenal pace, equal to the task of transcribing law journals.
Jacob sets his quill down and flips open a more delicate manuscript.
Cultivating both allows me more time with the medieval texts.
Do try and keep this antiquarian research alive back home.
Honest referencing from your extensive lycanthropy
An interest that nearly rivals my own.
Sabney sits opposite Jacob. He flicks past several pages until arriving at a gruesome werewolf woodcut.
Brutal conviction from 1512. Not at all accurate. Decapitation and eating of infants. Man fears what he doesn't understand.
Fear keeps you alive.
So does prudence. No species can survive without it. Why has the werewolf legend flourished beyond its ancient Greece origin?
Exterior, Rhone Mountains, forest, day, 1810.
Because all greatness go from a seed of truth. That was his favorite trope.
If only he knew.
There's rustling in the distance.
Hold up, Jacob.
He dismounts and brings out a long barrel rifle from his saddle holster. Wilhelm positions himself under low hanging branches. In his sights, an 8-point buck wanders out from the brush, grazing.
There we are. Roasted venison.
The buck raises its head, bolts. Wilhelm frowns, lowers his rifle. A weary little girl in braids, Gretel, 10, stumbles into view and collapses.
Jacob! Marie!
He retrieves Gretel. He gently lays her down. She is barefoot and dirty.
Poor thing. So young to be wandering alone.
Jacob dribbles water from a flask to her dry, cracked lips.
You found me. Everything's all right. Tell us what happened. Where's your family?
Father left us in the woods to search for food. And now he's lost.
Jacob removes a piece of pumpernickel from his pack and hands it to Gretel. She sniffs, then consumes the bread in short order.
Thank you, kind sir.
Call me Jacob. This is my brother Wilhelm.
And I'm Marie. What's your name?
Gretel.
Are there any others still missing?
I have a brother, Hansel, captured by an old woman who's a witch.
Another one?
And she tricked us with her house sweets. Poor Hansel, locked in a cage, soon in the oven.
Marie comforts her while Jacob unfolds his cloth map. He points out a region near the mountain range.
Here would be the most likely area to explore.
Where could Gretel's father have gone?
Bad Brook now isn't far off.
It's our best bet. Marie, I want you to take Gretel there. Should fortune favor us, we'll return with the boy before nightfall.
Exterior, Rhone Mountains, forest clearing, dusk. A yellow-orange light filters in low, touching tops of a forest fern bed. The brothers row parallel to each other, searching.
The hour grows late and my backside is calloused.
Won't be much longer. Our chances of finding Hansel die with the light.
If it even exists. What if Gretel is a ruse of the wood nymphs? Baiting unsuspecting travelers on a wild goose chase until dead.
Should that be true, we'll add them to the list.
They stop in front of a small clearing, unusually devoid of any vegetation. They dismount and step onto a crushed rock path 7 feet in length.
If only a house was at the end of this path to nowhere.
Jacob surveys the area for clues.
There has to be a reason why.
To confound us with the amusement of wood nymphs.
His boot kicks rock fragments that fly down the path, but they disappear before landing.
Jacob, watch this.
He demonstrates the wonder by sliding his arm into the void.
Remarkable. What do you feel?
Nothing.
He walks through, rapier falling off of him as he vanishes.
Wilhelm?
I found it.
What?
Exterior, Candy Cottage, day. Jacob jerks back, struck, holding a pistol crossbow that refuses to cross over. He drops the weapon.
piece of threat protection magic.
The gravel path winds through a well-lit, arranged forest of crooked pine trees to a cottage in the distance, all perfectly staged like a film set.
Stay alert.
They make their way along the trail.
How difficult can an old woman be?
Wilhelm eyes small, colorful boxes filled with goodies, which are dangling off the branches.
Those do look delicious.
I wouldn't. The deliberate nature is suspect.
Ignoring his brother, Wilhelm touches a box when the cottage door swings open. Each leap for cover behind tree trunks less than half their width. A withered and feeble crone, 110, hobbles with a cane to a wood pile. She picks up a log, pauses, looks directly at the brothers.
Gretel? Gretel, come here, child.
Her eyesight shows a blurry haze of dark blotches. Jacob watches the crone return inside, who's muttering to herself. Wilhelm smiles at him.
Blood is bats.
Interior, Candy Cottage. In a neglected condition, it has a rotten stench of human remains and spoiled cakes in various stages of decay. Shelves are cluttered with vials and boxes near a suspended cauldron.
Must have been a bird or a hare. No sign of her sister.
She feels for the oven door. She opens it, feeds the log.
How would you know?
I just do. She's gone. Vanished. Just like my own. Abandoned me to starve. All for the favor of some prince. Barely a traveler ever stops by anymore. Come, boy. Let's feel your progress.
Hansel digs around the skeletal remains and sticks 2 bone fingers through the bars. The crone touches them.
3 weeks and still thin. Wretched child, I shan't wait any longer.
She grabs a cake and shoves it through the cage.
Eat!
Exterior, Candy Cottage. Jacob observes through a window.
Boys alive. How shall we...
Ah! Oh, ye of little faith.
Wilhelm snaps a gingerbread off and he bites, relishing the sweetness. The crone hustles out faster than expected.
Who's there? Who dares to eat my house?
Wilhelm sneaks around the other side.
It's me, Gretel. I returned from picking mushrooms.
Where are you, dear?
Jacob makes his move. Interior, Candy Cottage. Hansel perks up at the sight of Jacob, who holds a finger to his lips.
Gretel sends her regards.
He pulls at the cage bars.
My sister's alive? Safe and sound. It's quite the quandary you're in.
Best hurry before the crone comes back.
Hand me one of those.
Hansel finds him a toothpick bone fragment. Jacob digs it around the keyhole until... snap. He tries his own key to no avail.
Don't suppose you know the location of the lock's key?
Hansel motions around his neck and points to Jacob's.
Hang by a string.
That's all you, I'm afraid.
Hide!
Jacob positions himself near the shelving as the crone enters with Wilhelm. He shuffles on his knees, holding 2 more logs.
See who's returned just in time.
Sister, how have you changed?
The crone rummages her shelves.
Go feed the oven's fire, child.
Wilhelm does as instructed. He leaves the oven door ajar.
Is it hot enough?
How do you mean?
The crone lifts a box lid. Out jumps a toad. She catches it in midair with lightning-fast reflexes.
Ignorant dullard, the fire, feel its heat.
I cannot tell.
She slams the box down.
Impossible.
She passes by Jacob. She stops and listens. Inches apart, he holds his breath. The crone
simple-minded fools!
She presses her cane against Jacob's neck. Wilhelm leaps to his feet. He picks up a petrified braided bread and busts it over her head. The crone glances from behind.
Utak spat!
Filthy plates with spoiled cakes levitate and bombard Wilhelm until one wallops him to the floor.
Well,
With a furious burst of strength, he forces the crone into her shells.
No one touches my brother.
They crash upon the rickety table and buckles under their weight, flattening the first toad. Jacob flings the cane from her grip. He covers her mouth. She bites his fingers and leaves. He's thrown against the entry. 20 different ear-cringing sounds emit as she stands.
Such insolence! Enter my home, try to steal my food, hurt an old fragile woman! I'll feast on your entrails!
Dinner's over.
The crone's cane projects out from her stomach, covered in blood and bits of tissue. She's in disbelief.
death comes for us, O witch. We are yours.
He yanks the key off her neck.
We are death.
They shove the crone into the oven and lock it. Exterior, black forest, chicken leg hut, night. In the midst of a blue rose garden, Baba Yaga clutches at her heart as if stabbed.
No! Broom kumni!
A silver birch broom flies to her hand. She perches on the glass mortar and takes off. Interior, Candy Cottage. Moments later, the noise has subsided. Jacob unlocks the cage, helps Hansel out.
Junkie, she burned like tinder.
Her fire served our needs well.
Wilhelm returns from a back storage, smeared in frosting with an adult coat and cinched sack. He drapes the coat on Hansel.
Shouldn't that be for you?
Only if we wish to plague ourselves with bad luck.
So why do you give it to the child then?
Wilhelm opens a sack filled with coin and precious gemstones, selects 2 emeralds, and hands the rest to Hansel.
Junkie, we shan't go hungry again. A fair day's wage, I dare say.
Exterior, Candy Cottage, day. The film set facade has disintegrated. Baba Yaga soars down from a rain cloud to the deteriorating cottage. Interior, Candy Cottage. 2 toads desperately squeeze under the front door. It opens. One leaps to the side as a boot squishes the other.
Sestra? Sestra?
Dreading the inevitable, she opens the oven and she crumples at the sight of the charred remains.
Moja sestrika!
Baby sister!
Ja sam pomstimta.
I will avenge you. Flames erupt under the tepid cauldron. Baba Yaga tosses many vials into the water that creates a swirling vortex of color. She snatches the last fleeing toad and rips off its legs, ingesting them whole.
Odhalit moja na priatela.
Reveal my enemy. She recites her incantation while squeezing the toad's twitching body like a tube of toothpaste over the bubbling cauldron until both eyes pop out. A cloud of smoke erupts, then disperses to reveal Wilhelm, Marie, and Jacob in towels.
Destroyed, sister. By mere pups. Your folly shall not be my own.
Baba Yaga fixates on Jacob.
Let's see how brazen they are with me.
She looks to the window where a black crow waits.
Go, my pet. Keep a watchful eye on our adversaries.
Outside, the bird flies into the air, squawking at the other 100 crows that swirl up in a tornado of feathers. Interior, Swabish Hall, bathhouse, day, a sanctuary of elegant serenity. The high domed ceiling overlooks a marble circular pool where a dozen nude bathers of various age, size, and gender lounge. Wilhelm eases into the warm, therapeutic bath.
Ah, just what my aching body needs. Haven't been this clean in a month.
Enjoy while you can. The coming days won't be any easier.
Marie admires Jacob's taut backside as he enters the water. His tense muscles instantly relax.
Now you're being caught.
Turn around.
We're all travel companions. What of the other free spirits?
Look at them.
Wilhelm averts his gaze while Jacob soaks in the visage of Marie wading through the pool like a Greek goddess.
Oh, very soothing. Will but keep your distance.
A welcome stop before reaching Liechtenstein.
One we deserve for notable deeds beyond compare.
Pomposity aside, the children's father was grateful.
Don't expect the same from King Frederick.
We should at least acknowledge loyal servitude.
All contingent upon being granted an audience. Frederick's hospitality is less than reputable.
But better than his temperament.
Exterior, Schwabish Hall, Town Square, later. Refreshed and in a joyous mood, the three pass by a fountain, which is adorned with crows, into a congested public market. Among the crowd, the Baron trails close behind. He pushes past others with an intimidating demeanor, keeping his targets in sight.
Who'd have known the spa could make one so famished?
No pampering tonight, Will.
On beer or wenches. We leave before dawn.
There's no reason why your eagerness should dampen my delight.
Exterior, Schwabish Hall, Inn. Before reaching the entrance, Marie senses something afoot, and she turns around. The Baron is gone. Only fellow patrons.
What's the matter?
Nothing. An odd chill is all.
Hardy lager shall suit us both then.
Exterior, Bavarian forest, morning. It's peaceful. A rising fog hangs in the scenic landscape's upper canopy.
Stop making it sound so dirty.
Three horses bearing Wilhelm, Marie, and Jacob saunter towards a babbling brook.
There's no threat around, yet he continues to wear your clothes.
The horses pause for a drink, then cross it.
Thy safety is Marie's utmost importance during times of danger.
The malevolence of fat cows grazing on a field.
Is someone jealous? I think it makes Jacob look even more dashing.
Jacob admires a leather bracer on his arm.
I think the hot springs have muddled your sensibility.
The lack of animals slaughtered proves nothing. The beast still roams free and mine to kill.
Remind me to never run afoul of you.
Suddenly there's a splash, splash, and a roar. A scruffy gray-white werewolf knocks Wilhelm off his horse.
Will!
Jacob stares wide-eyed at a flashback of his bleeding father pinned down. Philip reaches for him.
Jacob! Help him!
Jacob snaps back to reality, sees Wilhelm flailing his legs at Grey White before the werewolf chops down on one of them. Marie lunges her sword into Grey White's side. The werewolf howls, smacking Marie away. Grey White pulls the sword free as Marie reaches for her ankle sheath. Wilhelm limps toward his rifle holster. Marie swipes her dagger at Grey White at arm's length confrontation. A bolt penetrates the werewolf's back. Grey White mauls Jacob to the ground. Pistol crossbow falls from reach. He lodges his bracer against the ravenous jaws. Marie slashes madly from behind, creating red gashes until the werewolf lacerates her exposed arm. The swipes it from his hand. Well-known concept, Michael Berg to Gray White's jaw, flips it around. Point blank shot into the stomach. From the brush, a stronger silverback werewolf ambushes Wilhelm. Jacob levels his full-size crossbow, expertly fires 2 bolts at the same time. One breaks the silverback's neck and the other punctures a pectoral muscle. Jacob smashes the crossbow across Silverback's face, dropping the warrior. He casts the crossbow aside, scoops up Marie's sword.
Die, beast!
He raises his weapon and halts. Mouth agape, Jacob falters back. He sees that it's the injured Savni.
Jacob, I'm safe. Look,
Jacob acknowledges his brother with bewilderment.
no harm came to me.
Marie retrieves her ivory handle and approaches the hemorrhaging Baron. His sunken face glowers at her as blood seeps from the gaping wound. She observes his suffering with more pity than hatred. She positions her sword.
May we both find peace.
We'll now take a brief intermission. Thank you very much, everyone. We will continue now. First of all, thank you very much for the treats. Should we have a big hand? Okay, very good. I'm going to have to do that a little bit. All right. Now we are ready to resume. Exterior, Bavarian forest, later. Bandaged as needed, everyone huddles around a small fire. A heavy silence hangs in the air. Savni is covered by a blanket and donated trousers. He gauges the introspective mood.
I'm grateful to see none of you seriously harmed. An explanation is owed for all that's happened.
Why hadn't you spoken to you?
This damnation has endured in my family for generations. It's a secret not easily broached.
Afraid of being speared on the spot.
I was afraid that Jacob and Will would reject my instruction. The only means I had for it to.
You knew what happened.
My brother's aggression was a surprise to all but one. No doubt it was as funny as bidding. No doubt it was at the bidding of my father. Your actions, however justified, only served to enrage him.
My parents died by his savagery.
I am truly sorry. No words can amend years of reckless bloodlust to a consequence of protecting you boys from reprisal.
Grievance could justify such a cycle of visits.
That fellow shall remain forever long among the lovers.
And I say it's time we close this chapter and set forth anew.
Allow me to go bury my father and any further discord between us.
Retribution has been served. Please, accept my horse as goodwill.
Your generosity is beyond compare. One day we'll meet under more hospitable circumstances. At our wedding.
Yes, you must attend.
I'd be honored. When is the affair?
We haven't discussed it.
Soon, upon our return to castle.
Exterior, Liechtenstein village, day. It's in shambles. Marie rides with Jacob on the nightmare, passing buildings damaged or destroyed, stopping in front of Sphinx's Riddle Tavern. A crow lands on the dangling sign and caws as they enter. Interior, Sphinx's Riddle, greeted by a sculpted wooden sphinx and empty dining area.
Find more action in the graveyard.
We do get our pick at the tables.
Jacob trails after Marie. The bar counter. Wilhelm parks himself next to a blubbering, spineless tailor, Diedrich, 33, short and balding with a rumpled suit, drowning his sorrows in a lager. A thick female Mannish barkeep, 40s, greets her new customer with a blank stare while scrubbing a star.
Excuse me. I wish to speak with the proprietor. You are? Oh, how progressive. My friends and I are in need of a good meal. Must be new in town. We've traveled a considerable distance. This is a beer. Tip my last barrel of Doppelbock. So, has the town experienced a recent disaster? Often.
Wilhelm pays her a little extra and gestures at Diedrich.
What's his story? Enjoy the beer? Get back to where that might be before it's too late.
She collects the coins and returns to cleaning. Wilhelm clinks the steins together as he gathers them.
Pleasure was all mine.
At the table, he distributes the drinks.
The owner wasn't very forthcoming.
There's more bawling from the bar.
Incessant sniveling.
Marie sidles up to Diedrich, who gives her the one soda.
Pardon my intrusion. Is there anything I may do to ease your troubles?
I've no coin to tender, but would appreciate the company. It shall be my last time.
You little worm!
Try accepting such compliments as compliment. We can assist you in other ways. Please join us.
At the table, Wilhelm welcomes the tailor to an open chair. Diedrich polishes off his own drink, and he proceeds to guzzle Jacob's.
Thank you for this kindness. Diedrich's my name, the village tailor.
A man who aspires beyond his station.
My father's wishful thinking. Who are you folk?
Historical linguistics from Westphalia.
Yoke of the French.
Sent here by Queen Catherine.
Here? Are you being punished?
What has stricken you with such grief?
I've been ordered to seek help from Baba Yaga, a witch who lives in the Black Forest.
Perfect! Wouldn't the king's guards be better suited?
Diedrich lays out a belt with the words, 7 at 1 blow, which is stitched across.
Boasting of dead flies reached King Frederick as a tale of bravery against 7 large ruffians.
Your name proved to be prophetic.
Only if I live.
Allow us to accompany your quest, nevertheless.
More lambs to the slaughter? What can a linguist do about giants?
Giants!
We possess other skills.
Exterior, Black Forest, day, flashback, 1788. Blood-curdling shrieks permeate the trees just before branches break from the chicken-leg hut clumping past.
Full of wanton destruction they are. Some claim she sent them as punishment.
Hell's Valley, down a winding mountain path, fades. Then the ground shakes, rocks tumble, an earthquake. Exterior, Castle Liechtenstein Day. majestic white stone, barely discernible in thick fog from the cliff it's built on. Two giants emerge, frightening behemoths, 40 feet tall, climbing up the side. Magog, lanky and cunning, scales the wall first, bashing a tower with his club. Several royal guards jab at him with pikes. Magog snatches a guard, breaks his neck, and hangs him on a belt hook like a trophy. Signal, bald with a bristly beard, all muscle, no brain, reaches through a carriage house roof. He tosses a distraught peasant over his shoulder and ingests a goat. Exterior, Black Forest, waterfall, day. Diedrich guides Jacob, Marie, and Wilhelm through dense vegetation on horseback.
Plagued our lands ever since.
How often do these raids occur?
Can't say. Does a criminal tally his lashings?
Diedrich reaches open land first. His horse rears up, dumping him to the edge of a 1,500-foot sheer drop. He peers over, yelps, and backs away.
What a magnificent view.
And deadly.
Wilhelm focuses on a pile of jagged rocks that greet the waterfall.
Lucky fellow. I made an error. We rode too far south. The old hag is northwest.
From where the river flows.
A mob of crows passes overhead, squawking in unison. They circle several times like vultures and then continue on.
Unnatural behavior.
Suspicious at the very least. Keep your wits about you. Satan himself may be waiting for us.
Exterior, Black Forest, chicken leg hut, day. The group reaches a small clearing that shows no evidence of the Queen's story. Baba Yaga appears in her seductive mistress guise.
I find your notion of old hag to be an absurd falsity.
They dismount. Jacob yanks the trembling Diedrich along.
Welcome, expected guests.
Crows are nestled all across the mossy roof. One swoops down and lands on her shoulder.
Friends of yours?
She pets the crow before it flies off.
They keep me company. Are you here by compulsion or free?
Both.
Dual purpose, then. Let he who represents the rancorous ruler speak first.
The king humbly asks for your help in stopping the giants.
Giants are a ferocious lot. Our paths have crossed in more troubling times. You seek a potion that bestows permanent slumber, but requires a rare ingredient. Mandrake root.
Whatever is needed, milady. We can retrieve any and everything.
I know of only one location for mandrake root. It grows in the Falkenstein ruins.
Falkenstein ruins lies above Hell's Valley.
Where these giants supposedly exist.
Best hurry. The mountain pass is treacherous and light and deadly at night.
There's no time to lose. Please stay.
Rarely do I receive visitors.
I welcome your gracious offer.
We'll share in stories and tea.
Exterior, Hell's Valley, dusk. Jacob keeps careful watch as he leads on the nightmare. Diedrich travels between the brothers, flinching at every noise along the way. He points out,
Up there, the ruins rest on that mountain ledge.
the remnants of a dilapidated stronghold set upon a high outcropping.
It's like a steep climb. Lest we continue on foot.
Maybe ask a giant to lift us.
There! Hi!
He hightails it to a nearby cave where Jacob and Wilhelm soon joined him.
Easy now, I was only joking. Quiet.
More thudding. Thud. Oh. Diedrich covers his ears. The rumbling grows louder. They wait on bated breath. An enormous hand reaches in and becomes stuck. Wilhelm stares flabbergasted at Jacob while Diedrich cowers in a corner. More distressed mooing, the hand breaks free. The thudding resumes until no longer heard. Jacob gathers his crossbow, satchel, and a lantern.
Shall we?
Exterior, Hell's Valley. The three give wide berth to the remains of a half-eaten cow.
Do you wager with a snack or dinner?
Let's be quick before the answer is known.
And return to that beautiful creature.
A witch. Don't forget.
Was it wise to leave her?
We had little choice. Couldn't risk sealing your fate to giants.
Oh, besides, Marie is more than capable of protecting herself.
Hope so.
Exterior, Black Forest. Chicken leg hunt. Marie accepts a cup of hot tea from Baba Yaga.
Thank you. It's delicious.
An old family recipe.
I must confess, you're not at all how the tailor described.
Simple minds will believe any falsehood. I'm nothing more than a soothsayer, purveyor of knowledge, persecuted by the one I loved.
You were familiar with King Frederick.
Long ago, before his title. Similar to what you share with Jacob. I can tell he's a fine man.
None better.
Baba Yaga plucks a blue rose and hands it to Marie.
A shame love is so fleeting. Much like this rose, it will soon wither and die.
I'm not sure I understand.
Your time with Jacob has reached its end.
No, you lie.
She throws down the rose and draws her sword.
Hard truths cut the deepest. Once Jacob falls under my spell, as all men do, he shall fulfill the need Frederick failed on, perpetuate my line by his seed.
Never. You'll never have him.
She attacks, but four disembodied hands suddenly appear and restrain her, seizing the sword.
It's a rare treat for someone to surprise me. My tea has always incapacitated those who drank. Yet here you stand, a mystery I shall relish in solving.
She walks away, the beauty veneer melting off with each step. The ground rumbles underneath Marie.
What?
And it erupts into a geyser of earth, blasting her up like an express elevator. She jerks to a stop, watches as the dirt encapsulates around her into a room with a small window. Outside, the Tower of Sod solidifies 60 feet high. Thorny vines wrap all the way to the top that has no apparent opening. Exterior, Falkenstein ruins, night. Jacob, Wilhelm, and Diedrich traipse through the desolate structure. Jacob holds his lantern, Wilhelm a torch.
They say that the ruins are cursed. Who
says.
I've heard stories.
Oh, curses are nothing more than a means for keeping others away from something valuable.
They pass under the last standing archway and navigate down crumbling stairs. Exterior, Falkenstein ruins, graveyard. Nestled in the back with a single tree.
Over there.
Jacob leads them past weathered headstones to a patch of mandrake, a broadleaf purple flower growing under 3 dangling skeletons.
Dead men's road.
They're all dead here.
Wilhelm plants the torch. Jacob fishes out a roll of burlap twine.
Should have brought a dog.
Not to worry.
He distributes rudimentary earplugs.
Made these myself. Put the wool-sided in your ears. The pitch should not muffle the noise. Just keep your distance from fire.
Noise from what?
Jacob throws the twine over a branch and ties it to a mandrake root.
Pay close attention.
He wraps the twine around his hands.
The soil is soft. Ready?
Wilhelm flashes his rapier in the moonlight. Jacob tugs the twine down. Up pops a screaming mandrake root. Wilhelm slices through his face.
Ooh, disgusting genus.
Rotting hands break through near the headstones. Jacob places the mandrake root in his satchel, discovers a tailor passed out nearby.
Is he alive?
Oh, no blood. Must have fainted from the sight of a vocal vegetable.
Decaying bodies emerge from the ground. He pats Diedrich's cheeks, who startles awake, disoriented.
Missed all the fun. It's time to go. We've lived in here.
Too long!
Rising before them is a horde of undead. The mob of decomposition plods forward.
Oh, why'd we bring him?
Jacob fires a bolt into an undead's eye socket. Wilhelm pulls the tailor away from prying hands as he cleaves an arm grabbing his foot. He hacks off the head of another, lights an earplug on the tip of Jacob's bolt.
Bright idea.
Jacob aims and lets loose the flaming projectile.
Have any others?
Wilhelm shoves the torch inside an undead body cavity. The mobile jack-o'-lantern bumps into other undead, setting them on fire.
Oh, only that we're ill-suited for our predicament.
He tosses a pistol to Jacob, who presses the barrel against slimy face flesh. 2 corpses topple.
Nice shot. Be sure to clean the gun.
That's your primary concern?
It will father's.
Overrun by undead, the brothers drag Diedrich to the graveyard's drop-off. Jacob holds his lantern over the side, black emptiness.
This is our only avenue for escape.
Where? I see nothing.
There's no other way.
He props up and slaps Diedrich's face.
Come on, wake up.
Jacob throws his lantern down, sets the grass ablaze.
Jump!
They plummet into the dark abyss. They land and tumble for 20 feet, stopping on a jutted out boulder. Boulder loosens and breaks free from its position. They scoot just as it rolls down, inducing a tumultuous rock slide that echoes throughout.
Oh, too close for my comfort.
Like an aftershock, the mountainside shudders underfoot.
Rocket Sigino.
Exterior Hell's Valley night. 3 figures flee under the moon's light. Thudding sounds behind them.
Go faster!
Wilhelm suddenly stumbles. Jacob doubles back and lifts him.
Hurts! I can't breathe. It hurts.
Jacob checks over his shoulder. A bearded monstrosity advances closer.
I'm my brother's keeper. Just a little further.
He assists Wilhelm past a fly-buzzing corpse cow into the cave where their horses wait.
Oh, hooray for animals loyal beyond sense.
Without hesitation, Diedrich gallops off.
Oh, wait! Curse the fool who has none!
Exterior, Hell's Valley cave. The brothers dash out just as a mammoth tree crashes down. They race along the valley floor. There's a whoosh, a constant dodge and swerve of Sigino's swatting tree.
Stay still.
Another miss smashes a tree against a rock face, producing a shower of leaves.
Make for the hidden passage.
They round a bend towards a narrow ravine in the mountainside where a creek empties out.
Little mites move fast.
The giant leaps in front and blocks their escape. The nightmare rears up. Dumping Jacob before, Sigenote scoops up the horse in one hand, Diedrich in another, all wailing in terror.
Yum, yum.
Jacob watches in wonder as the nightmare dissolves into pixie dust like a fading firework between Sigenote's teeth. The giant reacts befuddled.
Help! Don't eat me!
Pokes at his other food to verify solidity.
Quiet.
Help!
Squish! Giant fingers flatten Diedrich's head. Jacob winces, Wilhelm rides over and hoists him up.
What? No helping the poor fellow now.
They speed under the giant, losing sight of Diedrich as Sigenote chomps down. Exterior, Black Forest, chicken leg hut, night. The weary brothers arrive to find no one.
Marie?
Baba Yaga!
Interior, sod tower. Marie sees them from her window.
Jacob! Jacob, up here! Up here!
She leans on and hits her head on the open space. She presses against the barrier akin to invisible plexiglass.
No, stop!
She starts digging her dagger into the soiled wall, but any damage magically repairs itself. Outside, Marie's muffled cries go unheard.
We've been anxiously awaiting you.
Wilhelm and Jacob wander past the solid sod tower.
Don't recall that being there.
And they step inside. Chicken leg hut's mouth door closes behind them. The wall of posts rises up, decorated by skulls. Interior, chicken leg hut. A destitute space comprised of little beyond a boiling cauldron and straw bed. Baba Yaga looks her most enticing yet in a plunging neckline, double slit dress, the Venus flytrap for men. Wilhelm becomes weak in the knees, holds out the root.
Where's Marie?
3 departed, and only 2 returned. Whatever happened to the brave little tailor?
He lost his head.
Pity. I'm so pleased you were triumphant. Giants can be most unpleasant. Stick your root in my pot.
He does as instructed. The bubbling liquid simmers to a calming blue elixir.
Where is Marie?
She's gone. My admission of our future copulation drove her away.
Deceitful temptress, you confuse fantasy with reality.
They exist one and the same.
Tell me now!
A reward first.
This kiss causes instant metamorphosis. A toad drops in the pile of his former clothing.
Wilhelm!
Jacob reaches for the rapier. 3 pairs of disembodied hands subdue him.
No, stop. Reverse the spell.
Baba Yaga dips a goblet in the cauldron while musing over his effort to break free.
Why do you struggle? Drink. Free yourself of pointless burdens. Let us bed and save my clan from extinction. Nothing is more noble than endeavor.
I'd rather burn you to ash.
A sentiment shared by many.
2 of the disembodied hands force his jaw open. She pours in a considerable amount.
Hard truths cut the deepest.
The elixir works fast. Jacob enters a dreamy, drunken state. Baba Yaga guides him to the straw bed.
And I always speak the truth.
She stands over him, disrobes. Interior, sod tower. Marie falls back, depleted, tears sliding down, not a single blemish on the dirt cell. She traces over teeth marks on her bracer.
Jacob.
Interior, meager room, night, flashback. Marie and Jacob lay in post-coitus, in bed, post-coitus. He nibbles up her arm to neck, she squirms, and she giggles.
Stop. Is your brother going to be cross about our decision?
I love you.
And I love you, but don't avoid the question.
Of course not. He adores you. What father would approve?
Probably not of this.
Hard to say.
I'm sad we'll never meet. Is he as charming as you?
My mother did bear 9 children.
Mine wasn't nearly so bold. Practical, yet held to old beliefs. She bestowed her blessing on me before.
Mother's blessing is not a thing of whimsy.
Or easily understood.
I imagine it's some type of gift. The gift that resides within.
Interior, sod tower, night. Filtered moonlight shines on the dagger laying nearby. In a melancholy trance, Marie picks it up.
A gift within.
The blade tip breaks skin. An unnoticed blood drop lands on the dirt floor. The tower tremors, jolting Marie from her stupor. She reflects on her bleeding, squeezes out a second drop. More tremors, a burst of inspiration. Marie places the blade inside her hand and slices it open. Then she spatters blood across the wall. Exterior, sod tower. All thorny vines spontaneously wilt before the tower loses stability and collapses on itself. Marie breaks through the dirt mound, coughing and wheezing. Interior, chicken leg hut. A blurry, spinning image of Baba Yaga comes into focus on her true, hideous, hag appearance.
Where am I?
The witch bears her rotten teeth in a gruesome grin. Long calcified nails pat her belly.
I am the vessel of your seed.
Impossible.
Recompense for killing my sister, along with your quickening mortality!
Jacob staggers to his feet, grasping a flintlock pistol.
As clarity fades, death ensues. A necessary cycle. All vices hold a price, and mandrake is no different.
Give me will.
No.
She waves the lead ball away, causing a wide miss.
Your brother shall provide suitable nourishment to my wound.
Jacob reels around, picks up the rapier, and stabs the mouth door.
Shut your mouth!
Exterior, Black Forest, chicken leg hut. It topples off as the sun rises. Jacob lands in front of its grotesque chicken legs just before they hurdle the wall. The chicken leg hut disappears from view, shrieking. Marie scrambles over to him.
Jacob?
He's clammy, pale, delirious, death warmed over.
Say something. Where's Will? Jacob!
Marie drags Jacob to the stallion.
I forbid you to die.
She hoists him across with every last bit of strength, then wipes her bloody hand over 3 posts. Instant retraction. Marie pulls herself up behind Jacob.
Stay with me.
She cracks the reins. Exterior, Castle Liechtenstein, courtyard, morning. The gate opens to a stallion bearing 2 riders slumped over.
Help!
Exhausted beyond reason, she slides off. Interior, Castle Liechtenstein, bedchamber, later. Jacob wakes to find himself in a luxurious bed under the watchful eye of Marie.
Beautiful Lustra. My dad.
Not today.
So grateful it's you.
What happened in Baba Yaga's hut?
She drugged me with a mandrake potion. Everything beyond is hazy.
Safe now. After 2 days of worry, nothing matters.
2 days.
King's physician was not confident.
Go on.
Interior, Castle Liechtenstein, throne room, day. Jacob and Marie stand in a cavernous hall of columns and chandeliers before the forlorn King Frederick 56, brooding from a raised platform. His royal garments mirror the younger portrait behind him, though are considerably more stretched.
Out of the question. I've risked enough granting you refuge.
Your Highness, please reconsider. Time is of the essence. My brother remains in danger.
If not already eaten. It's clear to me now the tailor was sent on a fool's errand.
I will not give up on him.
Then leave! Meet the fate of my kingdom at a quicker pace.
Jacob's defiance shrieks into defeat. Marie steps forward, ignoring Frederick's creepy leer.
What if we were to kill the giants?
By all means, vanquish our foes. I'll grant 100 horsemen to storm the witch's keep, and half of my kingdom in reward.
Exterior, Castle Liechtenstein, remote watchtower. Marie consoles Jacob at a stone wall overlooking the chasm below.
I was supposed to be his protector.
Take
I
heart.
failed.
Take heart. Wilhelm is resourceful and we can still rescue him.
To gain the king's favor.
Little value into empty promises. We shall find a way.
Jacob gazes into her eyes, then past at an ethereal woman perched on the edge, brushing her hair in the sunlight as the rays appear to pass through her body. Marie turns just as the ethereal woman skips along the wall and then disappears. They scurry after, catching sight of her at the tower door. She pays them a glance and then passes through. Interior, watchtower, an open space containing a weapons rack and staircase along the wall.
Now where?
A tower guard descends from the upper deck.
This area is off limits.
We happen to be personal guests of the king.
She moseys toward the weapons.
Conducting a tour, as you see.
No one but the guards are...
Whack! Marie knocks him out cold with a pipe. Jacob pulls up a trap door.
Down?
Interior, watchtower, cellar. A faint glow shimmers off the stone wall as Jacob and Marie round the stairwell holding a torch.
I have no desire to witness horrors of the tower dungeon.
They enter a musty room. He casts light over crates and crates of foodstuff.
So provisions for a town ravaged by meandering giants.
Marie wanders over to an adjoining alcove.
And a chapel?
Interior, watchtower, chapel. A small wooden cross sits on a stone altar beneath narrow, stained glass windows.
Castle defenses traditionally believed the best protection against an attack was a godly one.
Not by anyone here.
Jacob houses the torch in a nearby sconce.
No better time than now.
They kneel on the bare slab and bow in prayer.
Heavenly Father, grant us hope in times of despair. Please shield Wilhelm from unfriendly eyes. Bless and keep him safe. Thank you, God, for Marie, for her love and her strength when I need it the most. Fill me with resolve, O Lord. Show us the way. In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
Amen. He isn't lost from us yet.
They proceed out when a brilliant light emerges. Both stop, shield their eyes. The ethereal woman illuminates in front of the altar.
Are you the ghost?
A guardian of that which is most treasured.
I don't understand.
Only those who prove worthy may entreat my favor.
Why manifest in our presence?
On account of what was entrusted to me by another.
She fades away. In her place is a 17th century strongbox equipped with handles on either side. Jacob removes his key, suddenly feeling hesitant and apprehensive. Marie offers silent reassurance. The key inserts perfectly. He lifts up the lid.
Empty.
Jacob pats the box down until touching air that feels like cloth. He pulls out an invisible cloak and disappears upon robing himself.
Remarkable.
Marie picks up a leather-bound book stamped by a Grimm insignia. She opens to the inside cover with a handwritten passage. She passes it to Jacob.
To my sons, learn from the past.
Don't be burdened by it. Know above all the seeds of my death.
Exterior, Western Forest, day, flashback. A young Philip, 20s, roasts game on a spit. Around him are several boulders and a large tree stump.
Were sowed years before your birth, by accident.
I smell something good.
Hello?
A tasty treat.
Philip brandishes his pistol in trepidation.
Come out, whoever you are. I'm armed.
Want what's over fire, or the morsel cooking it?
Violent sounds erupt around Philip as two woodland trolls reveal themselves. Bits of rock and dirt fall from their 15-foot hunchback bodies. One with a boulder, the other a tree stump. Ah! Philip stumbles back, shoots, it ricochets off a troll. He runs away. Exterior, Forest Grove, day. Philip crouches behind trees, obscuring a secluded pond where young nude maidens, water nymphs, frolic among the lily pads.
The heart of every forest has secrets. Once I learned of one, I yearned to discover more.
He sneaks over to a clearing, but sees only a swan. Philip creeps closer, stares at his own reflection. A nymph bursts from the water and pulls him in. Exterior, Steinau, law office, day. Older now, Philip wears a proper suit. He shakes hands with another lawyer in front of the respectable firm.
But leaving those supernatural pursuits proved to be more difficult than I expected.
Exterior, field, day. A bruised, disheveled Philip hustles across an open prairie, wielding a rapier and pistol.
Some couldn't overlook past transgressions.
In the distance is a modest brick dwelling with a single tower. He glances back at a pack of werewolves bearing down on him. One werewolf gets close. Not anymore. Exterior, Edgenstein Castle. Philip scuttles through an overgrown courtyard of the abandoned premises when another werewolf leaps from behind. He thrusts his rapier out in defense, penetrating its underbelly. A critical wound. promptly withdraws his blade as the beast reverts to a fetching woman. Philip observes her face for a brief second, saddened by this loss, then escapes inside. Interior, Edgenstein Castle Tower. Philip drags himself up winding steps to the top, locks the door, collapses in exhaustion. Outside, werewolves congregate around the woman. The alpha nudges his nose against her cheek a few times, transforms into a middle-aged baron. The baron cradles his wife and cries. Interior, Edgenstein Castle Tower. The howling startles Philip. He steals a glance, dismayed by this predicament. He removes a leather-bound book and a portable brass inkwell from his satchel. Philip begins to write as the room becomes brighter until we fade to white. Interior, watchtower, cellar. Jacob finishes Philip's final thought.
Marie's vow will only be still eternal if need.
For that, I'm sorry. This was never the legacy I intended.
He'd still be proud.
Jacob skims through the book, page after page filled with illustrations and notes for witches, trolls, wares, nymphs, spells.
Giants.
The page is blank except for a crude drawing in 2 words.
Easily provoked.
Exterior, Hell's Valley, day. Deep snores bellow. A riderless stallion trots along, reining itself in near a trail. 2 bodiless arms appear and gather rocks into a satchel before vanishing. Invisible Jacob hikes up the trail until he reaches a tree overlooking Magog and Sigino, sleeping below. Skeletal remains litter the ground like discarded food wrappers. Rocks start pelting them. Magog snorts, brushes his nose. Sigino fidgets until a rock bounces off his eye. He whacks Magog on the chest and jerks away.
Stop hitting me, idiot. I wasn't. Return to sleep.
Both giants resume their slumber until a larger stone hurls from the tree and cracks across Sigino's temple.
Why you hit?
No one's hitting. You had a bad dream.
Magog swallops Sigino upside the head.
That's no dream.
But you're too stupid to know the difference.
Too bad.
Sigino rips out a tree half his size and bashes Magog. Magog clubs Sigino across the face. An earth-shaking fight erupts. Exterior, platform. Chicken leg hut. Same. The skull-topped wall is up. Marie stands before gatekeeper skull, insolent with glowing eyes and a movable jaw.
No visitors.
Let me pass.
Foolish girl, heed my warning. Baba Yaga serves up wrath to all trespassers.
Marie taps the skull with her blade tip.
I shall use you as my privy if denied.
Foul girl, pass at your own peril.
2 posts sink.
Expect to adorn this wall when she's finished.
Marie approaches a chicken leg hut that's high overhead and facing away.
Turn your back to the forest, your front to me.
It maneuvers around and lowers down. The mouth door opens. Interior, chicken leg hut. Baba Yaga waits for Marie as though she were expecting.
Are you here by compulsion or free will?
I'm here to end this.
What a shame. I thought you wiser.
2 disembodied hands appear. Marie chops them up with quick precision.
Not wiser, but definitely more skilled.
There's nothing you possess that I have not faced in 180 years.
Where's Jacob's brother?
Gone from my sight.
Give him to me now, or your death will be slow and painful.
Unlikely.
Zolit!
Nothing happens. flanks are bruised and bloody, wavering in their ability to stay upright.
Stop. Stop, Dim.
The killing stroke. Magog drops like a sack of potatoes, kicking up a gust of air that blows through the tree.
Magog?
Sigino pokes at his dead friend, then sees Jacob's head.
Little mite.
He snatches Jacob and brings him up for closer inspection. A bolt sails out from the void into Sigino's eye. The giant reels back, releasing Jacob, whose legs become exposed from the fluttering cloak before he lands on Magog's belly, rolls off, and runs, tripping over a pile of bones.
Honestly, you can make better effort to discard your remains.
He jiggles a raid cage off with his foot. Sigino plucks the bolt like an eyelash. Jacob hops onto the stallion and races away. Sigino chases after him.
Familiar predicament.
Jacob veers up a mountain path, cutting through the forest at breakneck speed. Sigino demolishes trees in his frantic pursuit.
Come back here!
Exterior, black forest, chicken leg hunt. Jacob advances on Gatekeeper's skull at full gallop.
No visitors.
The two posts spring back up. Jacob clears them like an equestrian rider and hurries inside the hut to find both women twisted up in a bizarre cat fight.
She's not dead yet. It's working on it. What delayed you?
Complications arose.
Out pops a toad.
Will!
Baba Yaga smacks Marie off. Jacob points a flintlock pistol at the back of Baba Yaga's head. Outside, Gatekeeper's skull freaks out as Sigino tramples through him. Chicken Leg Hut bursts to life and flees from the oncoming giant.
Ooh, chicken!
Inside the hut, Jacob's pistol misfires. Everyone topples. The hut jostles continuously back and forth.
You brought a giant?
She's unable to steady herself.
To Sabriatella!
Soul friends. 4 disembodied hands materialize. They assist Baba Yaga, then attack Jacob. He fights them off, wielding the malfunctioned flintlock like a club.
Hey, kiss the toad.
You kiss it!
He'll change that.
Help me.
Hurry up.
He's gotta stop moving first.
Jacob claws at the disembodied hands that are strangling him. Baba Yaga conjures a sword off her floor.
Enough of this.
Marie slowly peers down, grabs the ivory handle protruding from her stomach. She draws out the blade, smeared in blood. She wobbles to her feet. She impales Baba Yaga. All disembodied hands dissolve. Jacob doubles over, catching his breath in spasms. Anchored to the wall, Baba Yaga squirms like a worm on a hook.
Burns! It burns! I told you. Slow and painful.
Jacob brings the toad to Marie.
How bad?
I'll manage.
The toad sticks its tongue out. Marie crunches in disgust.
Oh, he'd better thank me.
With loads of loggers, I'm sure. Can't be.
Well, did you get the right one?
How many do you see around here?
Baba Yaga snorts, cackles, and spits more blood.
Poison can't cure poison.
Speak truth, soothsayer. No riddles.
She did? What's the antidote for a kiss?
Marie cold cocks Baba Yaga. Jacob has an epiphany. He speaks to the toad.
I'm my brother's keeper.
He hurls it against the wall. Oof! William materializes naked and dazed.
Was that really necessary?
He seems no worse for wear.
I'll put some hat on.
Jacob then reaches for Marie.
It's too late.
We can still find her.
I'm dying. Let me go.
No, I won't.
You must.
No. No, I love you.
So much. This is where our journey ends. Jacob, my love. I will always be with you. Here. You have to go on living for the both of us.
Exterior. Black Forest, the Chicken Leg Hut. The brothers jump off. They take shelter in an oak tree hollow just as Sigino thunders past. Chicken Leg Hut soars high over a thick, impassable grove and lands on the precipice teetering. Interior, Chicken Leg Hut. The cauldron tips over. Hot liquid splatters on Marie and Baba Yaga, waking her.
Your prince has fled. The fairy tale is over.
Maybe for you.
Neither my race nor I shall ever perish.
Death comes for us all, witch. And I'm yours. I'm death.
Exterior, Black Forest, waterfall. Sigino's hulking mass flies through the air and crashes upon the hut.
Gotcha!
The cliff breaks away, plummets,
Oh!
smashing across the jagged rocks before flattening.
Thus ended Baba Yaga. She could not escape her past any more than
Jacob and Wilhelm amble up to the edge.
Wilhelm became my one saving grace. How he arrived remained a mystery to him. I can only surmise it was divine intervention.
They peer over at the devastation below. Water splashes upon Sigino's lifeless body before rejoining the forest stream, speckled by wood fragments floating away. Among the debris is a periodic glint, maybe from a sword.
I anguish over Marie. Feel the resurgence. Welcome by your father in research and publication. Our lives devoted to making the falsehood a reality.
A single tear forms in his eye, slides down and off. Interior, Humboldt University, classroom day, 1861. The tear blots the parchment. Jacob acquiesces his resurfaced emotions, then continues.
Never again would I cherish more than my family our great nation. The collective folklore defined.
He closes next to the water spout.
Highest esteem, Jacob.
A moment of contemplation follows before Jacob inks the quill and scribbles additional lines beneath his signature. A super. The brothers Grimm published 7 editions of children's and household tales. Wilhelm married Henriette Wilde and had 4 children. The firstborn was named Herman. He sprinkles pounce powder, shakes it off, folds the parchment, on which red wax pools into a goopy blob. The Grimm seal stamps down. Jacob eases himself off the chair and carries his letter to a back shelf.
Yes. There's no reason to think monsters still lurk in our land. Am I casting my mantle? The world has moved on.
Where the strong box is tucked away. He fishes a golden key out from under his shirt.
I only ask that you keep this disclosure protected for future generations.
The strong box appears empty. Jacob sweeps air aside to preserve the leather-bound book and places the letter on top.
One can never predict when such knowledge may be requisite.
Fade out, end of script, end of film. We have people stepping forward.
How was it?
Yes.
If you have any comments, you can post them on the event wall on Facebook, or you can email me in the. So, that's it. Thanks for coming.
Thank you all very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.